hopefully after today you can go back and start writing the first applications and compete for prizes, as well as prepare for the launch of the AppUp store for MeeGo. So yeah, you may have heard of AppUp, may not, because last year it was launched as a new app store, first initially targeted at netbooks and Windows applications. So we launched this and went gold in September. We now have about 18,000 developers actively writing applications for it, and thousands of applications in the store that are Windows-based. And we have distribution partners as far as OEMs who are pre-installing AppUp in the netbooks that ship. And then we have distribution partners in the retail side, such as Best Buy, Chroma, and Dixon, some major consumer electronics retailers. And today what we're talking about is rolling out the developer program for MeeGo. So before I wanted to ask you, so how many of you are attending also Mobile World Congress? Give a show of hands. So a lot of you. Okay. And how many are local here from Barcelona? A lot of you there too. Excellent. All right. Well, great to have you. Have any of you, raise your hand if you actually have an app in an app store today? Quite a few. Excellent. Okay. Well, for the rest of you, you have a chance to learn about submitting your first application and getting in the AppUp store. So let's go to the next slide. Yeah, MeeGo. What is MeeGo? So MeeGo is a mobile optimized version of Linux for mobile platforms. It was launched with Nokia and Intel by a combination of MIMO and Moblin. Both of us had some strong expertise in Linux and open source. And what you've probably heard just over the last few days potentially is announced by Nokia that they're partnering with Microsoft now. I'm wondering, okay, what does that mean for MeeGo? Well, I want to reassure you that that doesn't mean MeeGo's changing at all. There is a whole community, an ecosystem, and partners out there investing and fully committed to MeeGo. And Intel is one of them. And just yesterday we announced that we have rolled out the developer preview of the tablet experience for MeeGo. So essentially the tablet UI for MeeGo was the first time it was shown yesterday. That's also on your development platform. It's a pre-alpha, so it's in early stages, still some improvements being made, but it's a very compelling user experience. I think you'll like it. We also, Intel announced yesterday that we're starting the AppUp developer program for MeeGo, that we're rolling out the SDK 1.2 for tablets, that we have a series of app labs we're doing across the world, that we're giving out thousands of development platforms, and essentially that we are fully committed to MeeGo and making this work across a whole host of platforms and devices, not just phones, but across a number of devices you'll hear me talk about in a minute, from tablets, connected TVs, media phones, and even in cars. So the compelling thing for developers about MeeGo is that it's a cross-device platform. So it's a common set of APIs that works across a series of devices. And so if you write one application, then you have an opportunity to then run that on multiple device types. So you write an application for a tablet, then it's fairly straightforward to then take that and move it to a phone. And take that and move parts of that to a TV, and then parts of that to a car. And so you really leverage your investment. Of course, it's not going to be automatically run all those, because there's different user experiences, there's different screen sizes, there's different input. But the bulk of your code now you can preserve and use across those different devices. It also provides you an opportunity for innovation. What kind of compelling applications can you develop that would take advantage of multiple device types? All right, let's go to the next slide. MeeGo, it truly is an open source, open platform project. It's hosted by the Linux Foundation. There's a whole community of developers around the world who are contributing and improving that on a daily basis. If you're interested, if you're an open source developer or you want to participate, do join. Go to meego.com and you can participate. It's governed by the typical open source project best practices, where those who contribute and have value add are the ones who get to guide and direct the project. Let's go to the next slide. MeeGo truly is a quickly growing ecosystem. you find it's much more than just phones now. We have manufacturers, or not manufacturers, we have OSVs, system integrators, silicon vendors, service providers, OEMs, ISVs, across all those segments now that are participating. There's close to 30 design wins right now that Intel's working on around MeeGo in all the different device form factors. We have, I'll just mention, some examples today is we have products that are shipping in cars in China on MeeGo. We have products that are shipping in netbooks in Russia today. We have tablets that are shipping in EMEA and TVs that are shipping in Italy. So a number of them are already out there today. If you happen to be at Mobile World Congress, you should stop by the MeeGo Pavilion. And the MeeGo Pavilion is in a courtyard, and we have a number of demos we're showing on lots of different types of devices. You can see a lot of cool things in action now. Okay. Applications, so you'll learn about Qt and developing Qt applications today, get some exposure to that, and see how sample applications are created. The web runtime will be coming out shortly as well, so you can take advantage of typical web scripting and tools to very easily, quickly create applications. So lots of different options for you as a developer on how to create apps for MeeGo. I don't think I have to convince you that the tablet opportunity is huge. Of course, the first tablets out in the market today are doing extremely well, and the forecast is huge, actually. We're talking about going from 44 million this year to 70 million next year. It's a tremendous opportunity for developers to take advantage of. And then even today, the netbook, I mentioned that AppUp is initially on the netbook. Well, the netbook has close to 100 million install base already, and it's still growing too. So there's an opportunity if you have Windows applications, you want to get them on the netbook right away today. You can submit them to our AppUp store today. If you're developing an application for MeeGo, then there's actually MeeGo netbook shipping. Not as many shipping on MeeGo, but they will be more and more throughout the year. So AppUp as a store is a little different approach than other app stores in the market. We've created essentially as a framework that can be utilized by many players in the ecosystem. So for example, an OEM or a device manufacturer, someone who actually makes a netbook or makes a phone or makes a tablet, they can pre-install the App Store into their device and ship it with that device. And we have a number of those partners underway. Service providers, those who are providing telephone services or other services, can also preload this and customize it for their interaction with their customers. Even provide some custom branding, interfacing with their billing system, and other things that service providers really require. Retailers typically don't get to participate in a App Store model here, but with AppUp they can, because they can take AppUp, pre-install it into systems before they sell them in their store. And that's what the Best Buy is doing today, and Chroma and Dixon. So they're pre-installing AppUp in all their netbooks before they sell them to their customers. And partner marketplaces, other partners that just decide, hey, I want to load this on the website and tell my customers about it. So I'll show more value add in the software space. Walmart is an example of one who's doing that today. All right, next slide. This happened the last time too, right about this time. For some reason, the PowerPoint. Fine. There we go. Okay. Okay. So, what does it mean for consumers? Of course, there's a host of applications. It's an application catalog, which is great for consumers. But another really important aspect of this for the consumers with respect to MeeGo is a consistent user experience. So the team has, the MeeGo team spent a lot of time and effort understanding how these devices are going to be used and how can they create a user interface that works effectively with the user and across many devices. And so with MeeGo now, a person doesn't have to relearn a user interface every time they switch to a new device. They will be able to go from the phone to the car, to their tablet, to the TV, and be able to quickly understand the user experience there and the user interface. For OEMs, retailers, and service providers, they can quickly add an app store to their products without having to worry about putting all the infrastructure in place to do that, and without worrying about a developer program and how to manage and fund a huge developer program. So this is a big value proposition to them. And in return, of course, they can share in the revenue as well. And for developers, in addition to all the tools and resources, you get, of course, you get revenue, which is the most important part. Next slide. We talked about really AppUp and MeeGo being across the multiple devices and being an open platform. And on the bottom here, of course, we show Intel as the preferred hardware, but it's not only Intel. MeeGo will also run on ARM and run on other Intel architecture manufacturers' products as well. So it's truly an open platform, an open source platform, and an opportunity for all of the ecosystem to participate. Next slide. So, and how do you participate in the economy here is it's a standard business model. So the developer will get the 70% of the revenue. And the unique thing, though, that we've added here, which is another opportunity for you, is the component store. And the component store allows you, if you create an application and maybe along the way you develop a library or a module that could be very valuable to other developers to help speed their application development, you can then sell that to other developers. So within our store, you can submit a component, set a revenue share model, and other developers can incorporate that. And then when they sell applications, you'll see a revenue share out of that as well. So that's fairly unique and new. All right, next slide. This is just a snapshot of partners who are shipping AppUp today. I mentioned there's many of the retailers there as well. You see OEMs like Asus. There's also Acer and Toshiba and a number of other OEMs working with many of them and very significant OEMs that we can't talk about yet. But one that was in our press conference yesterday we can mention is Orange. They were very excited about MeeGo and working to put MeeGo across many of their products and offerings they provide to their consumers. So just that Orange is kind of gives you a flavor for the many types of partners we have, but they're around the world as well. All right, next slide. So, mentioned the App Lab. This is today. We have a number of programs you can take advantage of after today. So the first one here is the AppCelerator. If you have a really unique, compelling idea for an application you'd like to create, you can go to our website and submit that idea, fill out a form, and see if you can get some funding for that idea. So we'll evaluate those and look at the ones that really are the most compelling, viable opportunities, and you have an opportunity maybe to get funded from Intel. But that's not the only way. The first, so let me step back. So right now, MeeGo AppUp Store isn't available yet. So it's not in the market yet. The device manufacturers are working on devices, and we expect to see the devices in the AppUp Store shipping the second half of the year. What you can do right now is start writing your application, come up with a great application, submit it, get through the validation process, and the first 100 applications will win $500 each. And then of those 10, the top 10 best applications will get an additional $1,000. And then we have even bigger prizes for the most innovative, elegant, compelling applications, where one prize is a trip to the TED conference. I'm not familiar with the TED conference, but it's a very exciting, kind of exclusive conference, and it's all expenses paid. Next prize is a trip to Russia for 5 days to fly in a supersonic jet and get experience doing that, doing maneuvers, and having quite an adventure there. And then another prize is doing an extreme a vacation in Antarctica and visiting the South Pole. So you guys got some awesome applications. Get them submitted, and you can potentially win that from the $500 all the way to the South Pole. Okay, next slide. All right. So, how many of you are fans of Angry Bird and you play Angry Bird? Oh, wow, a lot of you. Yeah, it's an awesome game. I love it too, and so are my kids. Well, interesting enough, Angry Birds, Rovio is the company, and Rovio has taken Angry Birds and is porting it to Migo, and showed a demo of that at Mobile World Congress in our booth. And we happen to have with us today the Bird Whisperer is his title. Isn't that a cool title? I wish I had a title like that. The Bird Whisperer is his title. So we welcome Ville. He's from Rovio, and he's here to talk about his experience. And please provide a welcome to him. So I thought it would be fun to hear from him what kind of advice he has to you based on their experience of creating a #1 killer application that everybody loves. What kind of advice does he give you? How should you guys focus, and how should you approach it if you want to come up with a great application yourself?
So basically, we don't have a list of things to do to create a perfect app. But we've been in the business since 2003, and during 7-8 years we created over 50 games before Angry Birds. So there's a lot of experience from developing games. There's a really good feel in the company, in the development teams, what makes a good game. And a lot of experience with different technologies, and obviously with the business, with the markets, with the business models. Most of our work before Angry Birds was third-party software development, basically. So for device manufacturers, operators, large games publishers, and we had around 16 own titles there. And we sort of used to have the strategy of squeezing them out in the development time of maybe 3 or 4 months, and see what would happen. Obviously, in the early noughties, mobile gaming was seen like as maybe an extension of existing game platforms. So what we were doing, we were making like survival horror games and racing games, and like games for this really core gamer audience for the mobile domain. Obviously, that was like not commercially very viable and not very profitable. And then the iPhone changed everything, and we shifted our strategy into making one really good property, one really good application at a time. So forget that sort of shotgun mentality that you develop like 5-7 games and file them out and see what sticks. But take one idea, polish it, iterate as long as necessary until it's perfect, until it's ready to be taken into the market. And like I said, usually we develop games for 3 or 4 months, and development of Angry Birds took 8 months. So it was twice as long as our usual development cycle, and that was really all polishing. And obviously we were doing our research, looking at what people are playing. Physics-based games were really big at the time we were developing it. We were creating our own unique characters, putting our own flavor into it, and it did really well. So that's like our philosophy, that focus on that great idea that you're going to do. That you have the idea of the application, you have the concept, you focus on that concept and you polish it until it's like a proper diamond.
All right, very good, thank you, very good advice. So, why did you consider porting your game to AppUp and joining the AppUp Center?
Yeah, well, basically we come from the mobile domain now, like going to other platforms, and netbooks, for example, really a portable platform. Like people have them on the go, and not really one cohesive marketplace for applications there. Obviously, there are like channels like Steam, a lot of download services. For example, Steam caters very much to the core gaming audience again, and we want to reach the casual gamers. So we're really excited that, for example, the affiliate AppUp stores, that people buy a new netbook, for example, they have the AppUp store there. They can find our application easily. And obviously we also want to be ahead of the curve, prepare for MeGo, prepare for that tablet market, and already have like a good established base in AppUp.
Okay. And how has the experience been so far in, I guess, submitting to AppUp, and then also going through MeGo as well, and importing MeGo?
Yeah, so AppUp integration is very simple, and that wasn't like much of a task. And Intel has been really supportive in the validation process, in getting the product out, in putting a quality application out for the PC market there. And with MeGo, we had a lot of experience working with Maemo, the Linux-based platform found on the Nokia M900, where we also had Angry Birds available. So we were also like, it was very familiar for us, and there was like really no major trouble going to MeGo.
Okay. What advice would you have for them about the future of gaming and app creation for mobile games?
Yeah, well, basically, like trends and genres, they come and go. Like, what's the flavor of the month? Right now, for example, if you look at places like Xbox Live Arcade, there's a lot of platform games. Really simple, really casual, but nicely designed and executed. Will platform games be big in 6 months' time? I don't know. But what's really interesting right now is the profitability and the value of apps. So it is fast becoming obvious that the basic price of an app is free. So whether there's advertising, whether there's in-app purchases, whether there's cross-promotion to other applications, that's like the developer's call how to make it profitable. But from our perspective, the free is becoming the standard price, and for example in the App Store, 79 cents is then a premium app. Obviously, with the tablets still being like a premium device category, there's the premium price point there as well. I read in a cynical review that, for example, in the App Store, HD games for the iPad have nothing to do with high definition, but high dollar. So it's still like a premium market. But obviously we're really excited. We see a lot of growth in the tablet market right now, and obviously the price of tablets is coming down. So basically we see the same sort of profitability question there as well.
Very good. Okay, well, thank you very much. Really appreciate you joining us here today.
Thank you.
Yeah.